So we are back. I discovered that I made a big error. Um, I did not record that part that we just finished. I just saw my recording app now and I saw that I did not press record. But from here, I'm recording and I'm still going to share a lot. I'm very, very sorry for that. I don't know what I can do to to make up for that, but let's just go. Now I'll start from the class again. Okay, no problem. I've created the class. So what I'm saying about the class is that um, I just created the class this way. You don't have to. You don't have to make your glass totally transparent, especially since it's a window glass. So just give it a little bit of shade like that, so that the reflection will be much more better. So that's for that. For the frame, I'll just right click, change material type, VRAMTL, and what I'm going to do is, for this, I'm going to use aluminum, but that aluminum preset is too shiny and bright for me. I want a darker material like this. So what I'm going to do is, let me admit everybody. So what I'm going to do is to, oh, where is the material editor? I think I mistakenly closed it. Is to make the diffuse a little bit dark. Now, for the fact that I make the diffuse dark does not mean that I will have a dark um, material. So I need to make the reflection also lower the reflection so that the reflection will not be too sharp. So I lower the reflection and it's cool, but the shininess now, which is actually the glossiness. Now, don't make mistake. You can see here under reflect we have roughness, and if you come here under reflect we have glossiness. Now what's the difference? Why is this one giving me roughness and that other one is giving me glossiness? It is just a way of, a way that they choose to do glossiness. So this one they call it what do they call it, PBR method or something like that. PBR for roughness, whereas that other one is just glossiness, just the normal way we know. So you can change it. You can choose use glossiness or use roughness under BRDF. So if you use roughness, if you use glossiness, the way they will look will be different. You have to set it yourself, but I'll leave it on roughness. Now the roughness is on 0, which means it is too shiny. So the higher it is, so if I put it on 0.5 now, it will not be as shiny as when it was on 0. That is how the roughness works. You can see now, if I choose preview, so that you will see it very well, you'll see that on 0.5 the roughness is actually blurry. So if I put it on 0.1, the highlight rather will be sharp. If I put it on 0, it will be much more sharp. So if you use roughness, it's mostly like the same thing as using glossiness, but it's just like you are inverting. So because in glossiness, high glossiness start from 1, then you will now have to reduce it. But in roughness, high glossiness start from 0. Then you now need to be increasing the value to reduce the glossiness. So I'm going to put it on like 0.35. I think it's okay for me. So we have a blurry reflection, blurry glossiness, yeah, blurry stuff. Then if it does not work for me, I can do region rendering. Just pick this side, and I've still seen that the reflection is too sharp. So I want to make sure, am I on window frame? Yes. So What I'm going to do is reduce the reflection a little bit, make this darker as well. I think it looks like what I want, and if it does not look like what you want, you can just continue to play with it until you get what you want. That's the way to do it. There is no big deal to that. So the next thing I'm going to be working on is that gray paint. Now you can see the advantage of having a big screen on the computer that I use in the office. Is actually a 35 inches screen, so it's bigger than what I'm using to live stream. So it gives me much more view. Now what I have here is I have two materials because I painted this material in Revit. So I have two materials. One is this, which is representing the gray um, paint, and the other one is for the white paint. So what I'm going to do is I want to show you that under Cosmos you have materials as well. Under Cosmos you have materials, and you have different type of materials. You have materials for walls, but they are just this. They are just three. But what I can do is I can drag it and drop it in the viewport. You can see it is a complex material actually, but that is it. I'm just going, it's like, I think it's too cold here. So I'm just going to drag it and drop it on the sample slot and click as instance. Now, for you not to, you can see everything is overlapping. This is where many people get tired of slate material editor. You don't have to bother. Just click on this little icon here and it will arrange everything automatically for you. So this is the material we are working on. This is what I did. I drag like this and I dropped it as instance. So I have that. I can copy it. If I want to copy this material now, I can press shift and move. You can see. So I can rename this and name it gray stucco and just change this one to darker. And it's not dark because they actually use a texture on it. So what I'm going to do is either I remove the texture and make the gray like that, or I change the texture. So I'm just going to remove the texture and make the gray like that. And this one also, I'm going to drag it and put it on the second slot as instance. So now as I've done that, I can come back to these two material that I get from here, and I'll change the oak floor, change it to come to sample slot and choose gray stucco and replace it as instance. So all the places that we have that material, they are now changed to this gray stucco. So for the gypsum board, I'll do the same thing and pick wall stucco white as instance. So when I'm applying material, this is what I used to do, because now I can stop the rendering and quickly apply all my materials. So any object that I have applied material to, like this window, I will right click and select similar and I will hide it. Again, I will right click, select similar. That means all of these, they have similar materials and I have applied materials to them. So I will right click and hide. Why am I hiding? So that I will know what to focus on, what else need material. So I know that this also have its own material, but I want to check to make sure that there is no mistake. So I'll check. These are the materials. You can see I've applied them already. So I'll select similar, hide them. The single material that now you can see we now have plaster material, which I don't know that I have. So I will just change that one as well to stucco white, because really that's what I want over there as well. So now I will select similar, hide selection. So select, you can see it's only stucco, select similar, hide selection, Eventually we'll discover that the about 70% of the geometry already have the material on them. So now I have this brick and I can search if there's a brick here. There's brick, but that is not the material I want to use. So, but I'll just use this brick for the sake of the class. So I'll just drag it and drop it. Then also I'll put it into the sample slot. Then I'll choose this brick, change it, and choose that other brick instance. So all the materials are almost done. Now, this brick, this is where the job is. This brick that I've applied, even though it's looking nice, but I can't see it. I don't know how big the textures are. So I will come here on the material editor here. You'll see this little icon, show shaded material in viewport. Now it's showing me the way the brick look, and everything is fine. So I'm just going to select similar, hide it, select similar, hide it, hide. So again, I can come select this. So it has default wall material that is from Autodesk that is not compatible with V-Ray. I'll change it to wall stucco white. Select similar, hide selection. I'll continue like that to see hide selection, because all of them, they have one single material on them, which is the stucco. This is a TV unit for the interior that we did. So I'll just change it to that stucco because this is not the main file. So, and that's how I'll continue to apply all the materials, but I don't want to bore you with them. So I'm going to click door. The door have 4 materials on it, so we are going to need to be changing them one by one. And I'm going to right click, change material, choose V-Ray MTL, press H to minimize it, then change again, choose V-Ray material, and press H again to minimize it. So door glass as well, change, pick V-Ray material, and press H. So let me start from glass. I've already shown you how I did glass, but for the door, I'm going to make it black, reflective, highly refractive as well, because it is for the door. So I did that. For the door handle, I'll just change it to maybe copper, maybe gold. I'm okay with that. Oops, that shouldn't be. I'll double click on door handle and change it to gold. That's all I want to do for that one. For the door frame, I can go to a website like this, find texture and download the texture and use, but I don't have to do that. Like I told you that you can do everything inside your 3ds Max. So I'm going to look for wood. Really have some nice woods, so just look for the one that will work for you. So let me use the second one. I'll drag it here. Now don't forget that my Cosmos is working with internet, so I can actually drag this one here. So this is the wood I will be using. I put it in the material sample slot, change the door frame, go to the sample slot, wood, fine. I'm okay with that. and it's because I have 4 materials on that, so I can change again, pick. So I use the same wood for both the frame and the architrave and the panel rather. So I'm showing you can see how everything work well. Now, why did everything work well? It seems like everything is to scale. There's no need to change the scale and all. Let me show you what I did. Because if I don't show you, it will not work on your own. You see, there's an option here, use real world scale. It's always off, I enabled it. And I also enabled triplanar map. I don't want to go into details of all this, but just enable those two and you are cool to go. You can see, and we have details. You don't have to stress yourself again. If not that I am recording this, I'm explaining everything. Under 15-20 minutes, I'm through with whatever I want to do. So I'll just be bothered about rendering. So the architrave, I'll change it as well to that same wood. Then you can see everything is done. So I can select all these, hide them, select all these, hide them. So it is reducing the material that I'm creating. Now I didn't talk about layers because there's no time about that, because let me just select layer. I know all these layers are on one layer, which is default layer, so I off them so that things will be easier. For the roof, now look at it. I've been picking materials and I've been applying. What if I want to apply directly? So for the roof, I can go and choose roof. So we have different type of roof, and let me just use this. So I can drag and drop it, and the material is applied. The only thing is, it is not showing the texture, and I'll just enable it. So if the texture is not okay, I can change it, but the texture is okay, I hide it, and that's how I'll continue to do to all of them. So let's say the floor. Now we have this road is asphalt. So we've been using this. Of course, normally if I'm working, I want to use, if I come to Grand, I want to use the asphalt that is on Cosmos browser. You can see this asphalt. There are many other asphalts. It is loading. So there's a lot. But I just want to show you that on top of Chaos Cosmos, we have what we call material library as well. Now, this material library comes also with materials, a lot of materials as well. But this will change. It will change very, very soon. Why? Is because I've seen that they want to merge both Cosmos and the material library into one place, so that there won't be any need for this material library again. How did I know? If you go to cosmos.chaos.com, it will show you all the stuff that are in your Cosmos browser. But if I scroll down to a level, it's showing me that they have planned to add all these elements that are here into Cosmos. They have not released it yet, but I've seen that it is there. So in the you can see all of them. These are the objects, the materials rather. So they are not they have not incorporated them into Cosmos by default, but from this website I've known that they will put them later. So it's important I let you know now. So let's just use them for now. So I can go and find concrete. You can see nice concrete here. So but let's go to Grand. You can see asphalt. We have asphalt, we have grass and all that. So if I pick my 3ds Max is doing autosave. How did I know? Because it is showing some blue rotation now, but it has done it. So I can drag this material and drop it as well. So I've dragged it and dropped it on that road. And now, if I click on the road, you will see that the material is totally different now. It is the asphalt, and I can show it. But let me use the Cosmos one because it's the Cosmos materials are much more deep. They have high resolution textures and all that. So which asphalt will I use? Let me just use this and just drag and drop directly and show. You can see you can scale it because I don't like that scale. So everything is much now. You just need to know the one you are using. This is not the asphalt that I'm using. This is the asphalt that I'm using. And you will notice the way they arrange everything. These ones, all of these, they came together. This one comes to this, then they came to this, and they came to this. So if I want to change the scale, I wouldn't change it from here. It will not work. I will change it from here so that it will scale everything at once. So scale is 1 meter. I can put it at 10 meters. But I guess it can't go beyond 10 meters. You can see now. I think I prefer this. So I can hide that one as well. And that is how I'm going to continue on and on and on and on. I don't think I have to continue doing all those materials again because they are quite easy, straightforward. So let me just see some of the things I can do and we will wrap it up. Now, I didn't know we are going to take this much time, but I believe it's worth it. Um, Material, okay. Apply it to this. Okay, the railing glass, I have not set it, so I can change. Because I have some important things to show you, and I think those things are very, very important. With everything I've done on the materials, I believe that you can create your own materials. And for the railing glass, the same thing. So this is I, and this is it. So it's that simple. If I want it to be really, really glossy, I can actually do maybe 1.1 for the no, not for the glossiness, for the Fresnel IOR I can increase it to like 2, so it will be much more reflective, but I don't always recommend that. So let's say we are done. Supposed to apply a wood material to this. I prefer my Cosmos. Yes, Cosmos wood. And just assign this wood, import it instead of drag and drop. You can import, you can just drag and drop as well. So I guess with all that, I can apply also on the ground. So this is just like a repetition, if you notice, but it's still cool and nice. So to the grass. So to the grass is the same thing. So I just continue on and on and on like that. So I don't want to waste the time again. Let me just leave it. Let me maybe select anything that is the same here and apply the same material to them. So tile, on tile, okay, I don't have on ground, let's say ground. So I have these paving stones, so I can just bring it in and apply it to all the selected objects and show shaded material. You can see all of them are showing. So that's the advantage of using that triplanar and stuff. So again, this is the reason I like to work in slate material editor, because you can just be moving all around the viewport and getting things done instead of being bothered about about you know the slot, the number that remain in the slot when you are using compact material editor. So you can see the way I was just applying and hiding them. So that's just all. So let me unhide everything. So I'll click no for that because of the layers of the forest pack. Hey, hide. So all the things that I've hidden, they are coming back. So let me just quickly unhide some of them. Sorry, hide some of them. So if you set your material well in Revit, you have your applications and all, it is so easy for you to quickly set up stuff and get them done on time. So I will unhide the layers as well. This layer. So I think I have something cool. Some of the materials I did not apply might not show, but these caps, let me see, select similar. Oh, they are part of those walls. I should have changed their materials anyway. So because I like to use dirty concrete for caps, so that at least people can relate. So now I can go and press render. So I will do interactive rendering to show you every other thing that is necessary, and we will call it a day. While we are doing that, let me use this opportunity to also show you that a training is coming up, a physical training now. I'm coming to all this, but let's start from this. A physical training is coming up on the 13th, of next month, June. So it is in Lagos, so Agidi, the area of Ikeja, and I'll be the one to be teaching you. So we'll start from Revit. Of course, you must know how to model, but we'll start the project from Revit. I will take it into 3ds Max, from modeling to everything that you need to know about rendering. And I've chosen this project in particular, but in different settings. So it will be a townhouse terrace, and no townhouses, about 5 of them, so that you can do real estate projects. I'll show you some pros and cons and all that. So if you want to come for this, now the early bird is ending tomorrow, which is 100,000 naira. The pre-registration have ended since May 15th, and the late registration, which will start on Wednesday, is 150,000. But you can chat me up and let me know if you attend this webinar. Of course, I'm seeing some names, so I can remember the names. So register through this training and chat me up. Then we are going to be giving you the discount, even if you pay on that same day, for just 100,000 naira. So if you want to come, it's going to be a 2 weeks training, interior and exterior. Definitely you are going to gain a lot. So we are going to look at different things. So we have 10 minutes to go, and also if you want to buy some of the tutorials that I have recorded for us, so you want Vray for Revit, Vray 5 for Revit, especially, which is a webinar. It's like 1 hour 40-minute webinar that will guide you on how to use Vray 5 for Revit, and you will be able to create something nice. This is what we have created through it. You can buy it at 10,500 from this website, seller.co. Let me just send it to the chat, or you can chat me up as well for it. So Vray for Vray 4 for Revit. What's the difference? This one, okay, the internet has gone. This particular one is a very broad one. Unlike the webinar, this one is broad and it's very far for every. It gives you a way to customize it for yourself and all that. Also, we have verify for 3ds Max. This is super awesome for people that have bought it. Many of them also are with us in this live webinar and they can tell you that it's awesome. Also, if you want to do working drawings with Vray and you with Revit, I want to render with Vray as well, we do combo. This one and the working drawing for just 31,500. Then exterior rendering with Vray 5 as well. Totally different. This one is much more in-depth than this. Is for 26,500 as well. The internet connection is wrong now. You can see that our Zoom is just connecting, but I will just have to continue. So you can register from AppVis Vis training, bit.ly.fix training, all that, and you'll fill the form. I'll get to you. So you can search for Craft File Studio on Behance and follow Craft File Studio on Behance. Now, I told you that there are people that are really helpful and they have been there all along. I've talked about Architect Owolabi Akao. Now I want to talk about Architect Azan Anifowoshe. Majority of you knows him. Is a very wonderful human being. I just have to say that. So you can go to chronostudios .com and Chrono Studios is not a studio that is not well known. Almost everybody know Chrono Studios. They've been there for us. Our creative architects, we've always gone there. There will be another one this year, and we'll see attend. So Chrono Studios is, all you need sometimes. If you know these people, you are good, and you can get inspiration from them. And also you can go to Chrono stores. They sell some interior materials. You go to shop, they sell interior materials. Then they have another business called Print My Drawings. Print My Drawings, everyone in Nigeria, no matter where you are, just go to Print My Drawings. If you have deadlines, you don't have to bother. You can imagine having to deliver a job next morning, but you are just finishing it some minutes ago. You don't know how you are going to. Just go to Print My Drawings, submit your drawings. They will print it for you. They will deliver it to wherever you want them to deliver it to. So that's Print My Drawings. We have Click Designs. Click Designs. Okole Uchechukwu. I'm trying to log to get to the website, but it's not going through. I don't know why. Um, the network is bad or something. So you can just see Click Designs on Instagram. Of course, there is Chronos on Instagram as well, and learn a lot from what they do. You can see a lot inspirations. Then Way Studios, I've already told you about Way Studios website, and Architect Owolabi Akon have already shared their, what's it called, with you, their social media handles with you as well. So now it seems like the internet is bad, so let me just quickly connect back from this. What happened is the data that we are using got finished. It's funny, but that's just the way it is. Oh, Architect Matthew, you people will see me now. So this is the rendering is going on, but before the rendering, what I was saying is I was showing inspirations. So I've talked a lot and it has entered recording, so I would not want to repeat it since I'm going to be uploading the recordings. Um, this is Click Designs. You can go on Instagram, search for Click Designs, follow Click Designs, and see a lot of wonderful projects that can inspire you. Then we have Way Studios. Architect Akon have already given you the Instagram handles. Just search for Way Studios. Then we have Daddy Dindu. Daddy Dindu, this man is a wonderful human being. I really, really like him a lot. So just go search for Ludnid on Instagram and follow him. He's a wonderful human being. None of them tell me to do this for them, but whosoever worth following, and I must let you know about them. So Chrono Studios, Click Designs, Daddy Dindu, Way Studios, those are my four go-to inspirations. They are fantastic human beings. So you can go to Chrono stores, buy interior accessories and all that as well. Okay, I said you can actually follow Craft Trial on Behance. Are we all seeing me now? I believe so. Please let me know. So now let's go back to our work. I've also talked about the training and all our tutorial packages. So if you want to get our tutorial packages, just go to seller.co/m/craft file. So I can post it in the chat. So if you want to go to the YouTube, let me just show you this site and all. Let me just click so you can see Craft File Studios. We have 560 now. We have 5 new subscribers now. So Craft File Academy. If you want to register for the training, just type bit.ly slash vis training. So you can register for the upcoming training in Lagos there. So let's go and finish what we have started. Now you can see what is happening here. We have just a white environment here, white floor here. So all I just need to do is let me apply this grass. So we have that. Now I said, like we have seen, these objects, these cosmos, they are not showing their leaves, they are not showing everything that has to do with their textures. So how can we load the textures? How can we load the textures? If we want to load the textures, what I'm going to do is, I don't like to stress myself, so I'm using a plugin called Relink bitmap. So what it does is, all the bitmaps that I have lost, it will help me to relink all of them. All the bitmaps that I've lost, it will help me to relink all of them. So when I open it, it will show me all the bitmaps that I've lost. So these are all the bitmaps. So all I need to do is to browse Because I know where all my stuffs are, all elements that I have in my on my computer, I just use local disk C. I choose select. Before I do that, I'll stop the rendering. Okay, I'll stop the rendering, and I'll just click on relink. So as I've clicked that, it will automatically scan all the folders and it will load all the textures for me. So how do you get a relink bitmap? You can just go and search for relink bitmap. Then you'll see collinscenario.com. This is free, so you just download it and you just drag and drop it onto your 3D Max and just follow all the installation guide. It's very simple. Okay, you will run the script and that's it. So the Relink bitmap is still working. So because of the internet and everything, we have lost everybody. Okay, so when you choose relink bitmap, it is so useful. It is so useful because you don't have to have headache on how to relink your. You can imagine having thousands of objects and you don't have the textures for them, and it is showing in your rendering like it is showing here. So just use relink bitmap and it will load everything. You can see now I don't have anything again that is missing. So I'll close it, and now let me press S before I continue, which is save, and I will now render. So while I'm rendering, I can show you that you can do all your post productions inside 3ds Max without going to Photoshop. So it is saved. Now let's press render. Let's just use interactive rendering because of time. So I believe it has been a wonderful time. You see, despite using Relink, it seems like some are still not working. So I'm going to check documents, my Chaos Cosmos. There is possibility that the packages are not where I think they are. They are where I think they are, but I don't know why this is happening. So I want to find solution to that before we continue, because the major thing to show you is the post-production. So let me just quickly find what is happening. Mesh file. So it's chaos. So what is happening? Let me see. Relink again. So there is nothing wrong here. So there's possibility that when our file was crashing the other time, it has affected all those Cosmos elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select all those Cosmos, isolate them, and quickly close this, pick the Cosmos, go to vegetation, and replace all these. But I can't replace them, I will have to do it manually. So trees, and I'll choose this tree again. And now I'll delete this one that is not showing texture. I'll put this one there and duplicate it. by pressing shift, place it here as instance here as well. Delete the ones that are not showing texture. I guess this is the one that is not showing texture. So now I can press R and scale that. Scale this as well. So that's for that. For these edges, let me change the edges. I have my favorite one that I use. So I'll go to shrubs and bushes, scroll down. You can see there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them. So I use this a lot. So I'll bring it in. So it is shorter, and I believe that it should do a good job. So let me just put it somewhere here. Click on Move Tool or press W on your keyboard and press Shift to copy. So I can increase the size, the number. So also can copy as instance. Also, I can press Shift and rotate to copy as instance as well. The computer is getting slower. I don't know what's happening. Okay, let me relax. Like I told you, when something is going wrong, just relax. You don't have to stress, because when your computer discovers that you are in a hurry, then it will show you that it is your oga. So now I can delete all this and copy. Oops, I chose 28. That's too much, but no problem. So now if I render, we should be able to see the textures, the leaves and all that. So let's render. So for the post-production part, which is actually what is remaining, I don't know why this thing just all of a sudden becomes like this. But for the post-production part, it's quite simple. Those trees are still not showing, but the shrub is showing. There's something possibly wrong with the tree. So definitely one will just have to change that. So everything is cool, nice, but the tone mapping is not that awesome. So what I always do first is I'll choose plus sign on the layer tab here. So I'll choose filmic tone map. Filmic tone map. And you can see without doing anything, you see that it changes a lot of things. By enabling it, a lot of things changes, but it seems like it make it worse than good. So I'll have to make some little adjustments. Number one, I always increase my white to this white like this. Then to strength, I adjust it. Then the stuff itself, I can put it on like 0.5, 0.6, zero point 0.3, so that it will not be too much. If I on it and I off it, you can see the difference. So I can add curve, and for the curve, I can just adjust the shadow a little bit, adjust the highlight a little bit. But here we have a strong highlight, so I don't want to do much. But you can see now that if I off the curve layer, you can see the difference. If I off the filming tone map, you can see the difference. So I can add white balance as well. So white balance, I can check the temperature. Now, as I'm doing that, it wants to look like all these are overexposed. So let me just go and check first color clamp. So you can see it is warmer, then it is cooler. So I don't always use white balance inside Vray. It's either I use it on the camera or I use it in Photoshop for post-production. So you can also go to sharpen and blur. You can sharpen your image by just click calculate sharpen and blur. Now everything is blurry somehow, so I'll reduce the blur amount, the blur radius. I can sharpen, so you can see the image becomes sharpened. So if you do all this, then there is almost no need for Photoshop. Now I can add lot. There's something called lot. So if I click lookup table, I can browse. Now Corona always come with lot, and I install Corona, so I'll just quickly go to Corona, choose lot, and click the first one. It will load everything for me. Now look at the way things will change. Now these are all the lots that we have. I can be choosing them one by one. You can see they are just like color profile that you can use to adjust your colors, the way they look, the way your image look, and all that. So if you continue to play with it, you find the one you want, then you use it. I mostly use I'm looking for it. Okay, this is what I mostly use in Corona. If I'm using Corona, that's what I use most, or the add one. So now I can change the blending mode, so I can use average. I can continue to press arrow and see how they change until I get what I like. Multiply, color bond, lighting, screen, you can see the difference. Pin light, all that I can adjust, and I can have more than one lot on this. But when you use lot, always make sure that you click save in image, because if you don't enable that, it will not save it for you. It will not save it for you, and that's all you need to know about that. I hope it has been a good value for our time. We don't have a whole day to go through a lot, but if you notice, I actually went through a lot as well, because it is very, very necessary. So on Friday, we are going to be having interior class. I'll make it as simple as possible. The most important thing is for you to know what you need to know, and in those interior classes, we will look at materials, we will look at composition as well. It won't be much complex because this one is big, so it's not for beginner in a way, but I started for a beginner. So but that one that I will use it, I will make it a small scene. I'll start from today, perfect it so that we'll not waste time on anything. Thank you very much for coming. By this evening or tomorrow morning, go to the YouTube page. You will see these videos there. Thank you very much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I hope next time you will come. Thank you.